picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
I wake up every minute with a fever dream. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
Bitch, I better
anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it. I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
Yes, good people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another edition of the Blue Morning Show. Today we have a lot of news items to address, quite a lot. Some of them will now be conversational, some of them will just be us reading them, and then we will compare Viktor Gyokeres, Victor Osimhen, and Benjamin Sesko, and also could have added another Victor to it. That would make it two Nigerians, but it doesn't look like we're that interested in that particular Nigerian there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along. We sincerely do appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Let's see a lot of comments in the chat already. I hope you're all doing well. Before we continue, sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people, big up to all of you. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. And again, I do hope you're all doing well. Let's see what else we have here. Constantine Danton, nice to see you, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. And Jude, how are you doing, bro? There's something I'm going to do later in the day today, and then when I do it, I'll let you know. Hopefully, I don't forget. And Jerry Z, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. And JC, hello to you too. I'm just being cautious here. Chances I'd lose my voice again. JC, Tuchel presser coming. Yeah, we see that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. I'm just going to say hello to everybody and then scroll to the very bottom. And then 40 viral videos. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join us this particular morning. And I have Tebago in the house, my bro. Big up, everyone. Please hit that like button. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I appreciate you all finding the time to join this particular morning. Coachila is warming his sound booster. I didn't even try to fix it on. I'm struggling with my voice still. It's not heard properly. I'm quite sure you can sense that from the way I sound. Let's see. Dante, yep, is in the house. So big up to all of you. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom, and then I'll try to get your subsequent contributions in the chat. Thank you so much. Vic, I see you. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show, Vic, this particular morning. Thank you to all of you. I will try to get your subsequent contributions. And without wasting much of your time, let's get into addressing the items we have lined up here. Just give me 1 second here. I want to take care of something. Okay, I think I did already. Then we have to go like this. And the first item, breaking news, Ben Chilwell added to the injury report. How did he get injured? Did he get injured sleeping or eating? I just don't know. Anyway, you can argue actually it's it's been overdue actually, because he's played how many games in a row without getting injured. So I was actually singing him praises, thinking maybe he's overcome whatever you can say the injuries has been reoccurring for 3 years right now. And yeah, there you go. He's been added to the injury report, or injury list if you prefer. And also Levi Cowell added to the injury report. Two players out. It looks like it's clearly a constant in this season. You get one player back, lose two. It's just I'm not too sure what to make of it anymore. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Big up to you too. And we have Tebogo here saying, okay, just saying hello to people. Big up to all of you. Coach, you still have the raw egg yolk option. I dread raw egg a lot, honestly. Even if I'm trying to fry an egg, you can say mixing it up alone. I find it difficult doing that, let alone drinking raw egg. I'm sorry, it's something I don't think I can do. But if it persists, the issue persists, maybe I will try it. But thank you for that. Chelsea injury, FC players getting injured in training. Next, they will be getting injured in their sleep. Yeah, how do you? We don't know how Ben Chilwell got injured. Did it happen when he was sleeping or maybe eating? I don't know. Brushing his teeth. I don't know, really. It's confusing. They all fell down from their bed in sleep. Freak accident indeed. Let's see. I was never off the list. Never off the list. Big up to you too. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Rich Money Makers, thank you. I think this one is worth discussing. It just seems as if every time we get a player back, we lose two to injury. And quickly before we continue, I want to say thank you to all of you. To those of you who are following the show, but for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat. Just know that we appreciate you, and that's because you watching alone does go a long way. So I want to say thanks, thank you to all of you. It's not easy, but we want to ask you for one more favor, which is to take a second and drop a like on the stream for us to help us garner more likes. The likes do go a long way. The more likes we garner, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and be forced to push the stream to more people who'd be interested in the topics we have lined up. But that's right. Well, I'm going to go to Tebago straight away. Tebago, big up to you, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Your thoughts on the fact that Ben Chilwell and Levi Cowell both have been added to the injury report, they were all healthy after our last game. So question is, how did they get injured? But that's by the way. But let me just hear you. What do you make of the fact that we've lost 2 players to injury, and with probably maybe during a training session or asleep? I don't know, but let's hear you.
Yeah, first of all, big up, coach.
Big up to you too.
Yeah, I hope you're good. To be honest, hopefully we can get a clarification from Mauricio Pochettino when the press conference starts, so that we can have a clue what happened. But overall, sometimes I don't want to blame the coach in terms of injuries, but we have to blame him because he's using the same players over and over again and not rotating them. But he will complain, oh, these players are tired, blah, blah, blah. For example, Enzo or Moses Caicedo, one of them soon, if they're not going to be rotated, they're going to get an injury. That's why we have a bench, we have an academy, and I'm not saying play 2 academy players at the same time. Play Moses Caicedo and another player. Simple as that. Then play Enzo with another player. Give them minutes to recover so that they can not get injuries. But the way they are playing right now, I'm fearing for them that they might get injured. But overall, let's just wait for the press conference and see what Mauricio Pochettino will say.
Yeah, in terms of rotation, it doesn't look like it trusts the younger players. From given what we've seen, but I don't want to judge him that much in terms of rotation because the injuries we've had also haven't helped. But that's, by the way, Richard, big up to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join us on the panel this particular morning. I'm quite sure you know the current topic. Let's hear your thoughts on the fact that we have Benjamin and Levi Cowell added to the injury report.
Hola, gentlemen.
Big up to you too, brother.
Yeah, well, I'm doing better than those 2. I don't know what to say. I'm a bit speechless.
Your feet.
I wouldn't go that far, coach. All joking aside, it's hard to fathom. It's hard to grasp this. Our last game was only the 3rd time we had less than 8 players on the injury list. Now we've just added 2 more. I don't know what to say. I mean, yeah, it's possible. What Tebago said has some validity towards it, but have a look though. This gentleman has a history of being injured prior to this managerial administration coming. So the chances are that it's probably the player more so than the coaching regimen or the drills that they're being put through. So some people have a propensity to not recovering well or having a multitude of injuries. And some people can go a decade without sustaining an injury. There's a lot of luck involved. Genetics has a part to play, diet, etc. There are many variables. It could be a combination of many things. It could very well be Poch's training regimen. But somehow, based on the fact that this gentleman has a history of being injured quite often, then I think we have to look at him being the common denominator more so than what the coaches. And when I say coaches, I'm not talking about Poch, I'm talking about everyone, the training staff, whatever. Listen, these people meet multiple times a week, usually, with the coaching staff, with the medical people, etc. And they go over each individual about the minutes, what type of exertion that they've put themselves through, the different type, the data that they have. This isn't 30, 40 years ago. No, these chaps usually have chips in their boots. They can detail data output from exactly what type of strenuous output they've exerted themselves on. And so they abide by that. They go by the medical staff's input and so forth. For me, I think, like you want to talk about later on in the show, Coach, I want to talk about certain players coming to Chelsea. I think one of the attributes that this organization should look into is a player's medical history. I think that has to be part of the equation going forward, because I find it hard to believe that we are sustaining this level of injuries for multiple seasons now. You know, at this level, I think the players we're purchasing. Listen, we bought Nkunku when he was injured, correct? We bought Lavia. Didn't he have an injury before he even? You know?
Yeah. Go ahead.
And listen, he's played less than one half of a game this season. That doesn't mean to say that he could play for us for a decade and never miss another game. I'm not saying that can't happen, but I think it should be a factor with which we look into a player's history, whether or not we purchase that player or not. It has to be a factor from now on. So every time we bring up a player, should Sesko or Osimhen be coming to our club? Well, guess what? First thing I want to ask is, what's his history like? From the age of 8, what's his medical history like? How susceptible is this person to hamstrings or groin or whatever the case may be? You know, I want to know that. I want to know that first and foremost, because if a player is not available to be chosen or to even train, then he or she is of no use to us.
Yeah, a liability to say the least.
They're just not. We could hire a 25-year-old Messi, but if he's not available to be picked or trained, then he's useless. It's that simple. I think that needs to be looked at. And I'm not saying that this administration isn't looking into that, but to me, this will be first and foremost on my mind when deciding on a player.
Yeah, it should be. Except if we don't learn from our mistakes.
It's frustrating, Coach. It's really frustrating.
It is indeed. It is, and I think you make a very good point. It has gotten to a measure where, for signing players, we have to look at their medical history. Otherwise, we will compound the situation. Tebago, there's no players that are rotated, none in the team, none in the academy, and none in the youth levels, none in the female team. I get that one. It's a good one right there. Rich Moneymakers have said, what rotation? Yeah, what rotation do we have for Chua? The man just returned and we don't have a replacement for Caicedo. I think the person that talked about rotation wasn't that specific anyway. Didn't mention any player's name. If you bench Caicedo for an academy player and we lost, you will be complaining. But sometimes you keep him on the bench, start a younger player. Then if you see it's not working, then you bring him on. But we again. Heston, let me say this, and that brings to mind that Roger's most popular argument: "You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't." Because I've been preaching also that he should play, you could say, certain players consistently to achieve chemistry, so that we can start playing as a cohesive unit, and that he should only make changes if he senses that a particular player is getting tired, he's getting burned out, or something like that. So that's why I'm a bit reluctant at saying the reason may well be his training regimen of I think that's how that particular word is pronounced. I learned that from Roger. It's not a word I use very often. But yes, my point is this. I think I'm inclined more to believe on what Roger just talked about. We should pay attention to the players we're signing. He mentioned Nkunku. He was still injured when we signed him. We signed him, and I don't know whether he got injured before we signed him, but Lavia also had injury issues before we signed him. Wesley Fofana, same thing. It just seems as if we're not paying attention to the medical history of the players we're signing. But I get your point anyway. Go check out the Resist YouTube channel. I think I pinned it at the very top. Go check it out. I don't have the energy to be speaking that much this morning. But he says specifically, kindly like and subscribe as the channel approaches 100 mark. There's a link there. Go check it out. And please take a second. You can say, watch the video that I recorded with him. I think you'd like it, and let us know what you think about it. Let's see. Coachila says he hopes the Chelsea fans are going to be behind the team on Monday. why not? We support our team. Pochettino said 9 academy players that trained with the first team yesterday, down to the injury. Hopefully, these forces some more academy prospects. I think we should be giving them more opportunities, especially the likes of David Washington. We paid 20 million euros for him. I don't know whether we overestimated his abilities, or maybe the manager, you could say, doesn't just like him or trust him. Let me not use like, maybe trust him. I don't know. It would have been better if Chelsea used the 1 billion to buy a time machine. Wow, Peter Pan, thank you for that. Kukurea is back though. Yes, so we're lucky enough. Badiashile is also back. Chalobah is also back. Yes, the defensive area were loaded. Kukurea, Badiashile, and Chalobah back means 3 own goals incoming. Wow. Let's see. This one report is for date. Okay, Gallagher has a virus according to Pochettino. Really? Okay. Let's see what we have here. The first team isn't performing, but we are talking about rotation for academy players, please. Yeah. You make changes when the players you have isn't performing. You try when they're performing, you try something else. If that's how you want to say it. But Vic, I hope I've said hello to you. Gallagher has had the virus all season, you think? Roger, I have passed on your information over to my contacts in the club. Okay, thank you for doing that. Big up to you too, Mike and Newm. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Let's hear you, Jude, if you have anything to add to the report. Injury, you can say update. It looks like if there's a file for that, it looks like it's one that probably will be, you can say, the person in charge will be on a daily basis. But let's hear you, Jude.
Yeah, good morning, Coach. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning to you too. I appreciate you finding the time to join us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, I think for me, I think I've been so concerned about the way Pochettino does not try to rotate players. We're mid-table, even despite playing those senior guys consistently. We haven't really achieved much progress. We are still hovering around 10th position and something. So I was thinking that the other game, when we had Casade on the bench, I expected him to have played. But I think he needs to try. Look at Liverpool. Liverpool defeated us with about 5 academy players in their team. So, and we are believed to have the best academy in England, at least in the past, let me say, like in the past 15 years, if not more. Our academy has been highly rated. So we should be able to bring out some guys from there to help in times like this. And if you feel like David Washington, I also feel that guy should be getting more game time, especially those kind of games where we are not under pressure. We're supposed to have been trying him more than we do. You never can tell. A child can come up and bench the adult we've always known. So I just think he needs to work on that. You can't just conclude that, for example, you can't just conclude that because someone is small, is young, that he's going to make mistakes. Try him. We are a mid-table team. We haven't really achieved much progress, so you have nothing to lose. That's one. Then number 2, if you look at this guy, his judgment on assumption, he failed on, what do they call his name? Ian Matson. So I also think that with things like that, he should have been able to learn a lesson and try more players, because we can't continue like this. Thank God Cucurella is back, otherwise we'll have been in soup. And I hope he doesn't come back and be rusty though. And even if he does, we don't have an option though. But I hope he doesn't come back and be rusty. Yeah. Then Badiashile too, I hope he doesn't come back and be tutoring at the back line, because he's not been the guy I used to know. He's not been that guy that could read the ball intelligently. What he has been is dropping stinkers upon stinkers, and I hope he's able to work on himself, on his confidence, and do well.
In all honesty, and to the managers of defense, I think the injuries we've had, made it difficult for him to actually rotate, even when you think he should rotate. But I, for one, didn't want him to make changes that much. That's because we're not properly rehearsed yet. I don't know, Richard. Do you have anything to add to that before we move on to the next topic?
No, Coach. It's deflating. I'm very frustrated with this. I think this team needs to do an inquiry. They need to do, they need to look about what's going wrong here based on the type of injuries, the frequency. They need to come to a full understanding of, one, how to minimize these injuries or eradicate, hopefully, and two, how can they overcome them? Because, these people are commodities technically by definition to the club. So therefore, to at least, maintain a value that you have put on this commodity, it would behoove this institution to make sure that their investments are at least maintaining their value. In other words, being available to at least train. If you want to look at it purely coldly, as a commodity, then do that. Then look at it in a business sense. However they're treating this, and I'm talking about the organization as an entity, not individualistically. I think they're going about it the wrong way. Yeah, is there luck involved? Yes, there is. Let's be honest. You need luck in life, especially in this sport. But I think they have to actually look into this in a much deeper way. Analyze what is going wrong. Get outside people to determine, to investigate. Simple as that. I would hire a medical institution or medical facility to do an outside investigation. Someone that's neutral, someone or something that is not invested in this, so you can get a more neutral insight as to what's transpiring.
Yeah, it sounds like you're saying some sort of research needs to be done.
I
think it makes sense.
It's correlation, cause and correlation, right? That there has to be. You have to overcome this level of injury. You're always going to get people injured that have knocks and have injuries. That's I'm not disputing that, but I'm talking about the frequency, the level, the amount of players that you see constantly are missing the chances to train, let alone even play. So to me, that I would address this. This would be one of my first things to address. If I was an employee of Chelsea Football Club, I would address this. I would put this as one of my top priorities. I really would.
Yeah.
Coach, in addition to that. Okay. So in addition to what Roger said, he said Nkuku was injured when we signed him. Yeah, that's true, but he bounced back from the injury and went ahead to end the season on 17 goals and won the Golden Boot in the Bundesliga before coming. Then before on the training issue, every player that worked on that porch back in the days has always talked about, his training can be so killing, but if you can endure it, that's what most of them were telling Chelsea players. Like Sadio Mane was telling Jackson as well, and that he's a very good coach. Just listen to him. Though you need to enjoy his training, it can be killing. So I don't know if he's still doing that kind of training, but if he does it, then he needs to really watch it. That might also be increasing the injury. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And the Bluetooth again is saying a bigger coach. Chilwell in Latin means wounded one, but in Latin means spineless and yellow belly. Often pronounced bottle job. Just go away.
That's funny.
I'm not reading your comment again, man.
That's bloody funny.
So what else we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes that go along with. Connor in Latin means a road, and the Gallagher in Latin means runner. Wow. You took your time to again come up with those things, right? Big up to you to CAA Mafia. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Yeah, tell Poch to ask Poch Jr. what's going on. And Richard, have you heard that his son, he leads the medical department? I think, to me, that doesn't really make sense. I hope he's qualified for the job.
No kidding. Yeah,
No, it's a physio, not a medical.
Yeah, he
It's
leads
what?
fitness, not medical.
Oh, he
Fitness.
needs fitness. Yeah, I hope he's qualified for the job, even in that too. That's actually even more concerning because that's the department that you can say if they are sometimes some approaches can you can say approaches can lead to players getting injured. Yeah, if you're overdoing it or lack of stretching and all that, you can say I have a bit of experience in that aspect, but I'm not an expert, I have to say. Big up to you to Walter Omoregbe. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. This has been ongoing before Poch, though. Yeah, even at that, we still have to look at it. It looks like it's too much for Chelsea. Why is what? Where did you see that? Please be careful what you say that. Let me see what else we have here. Oh, okay. Something that is trending. It's usually up there. What's happening? Yeah, it's trending and P2B and all that. Let's see. Good day, everyone. Good day to you too. I appreciate you finding time to join. And now you're going to make people start looking at it, even though a lot of people will be paying attention. Weren't paying attention to it before. Force the players to pay for their own medical care and watch Poch. I have a selection nightmare every single game. Wow. Have you guys covered the Strasbourg Ultras are preparing to protest? No, we haven't. We have a lot lined up, so hopefully we'll get through the stuff we have lined up. Then we'll try and cover that. Let's see what else we have here. I can't do nothing. The way they can believe in us is from winning games. So after Wolves, we didn't lose in 90 minutes. It's 5 games, but because of the expectations, that is a problem. It is not matching reality. Yep. Guess who just said above? Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes. Blaming Pochettino for injuries in training when the players can't even train. Okay, Vic, thank you for that contribution. How can Sebastian Pochettino lead the medical team and be squatted? And I was corrected immediately, so we fixed that. I didn't know his job. I wasn't too sure what he was doing. So you're trying to shame me in public. Okay, I'll take it. Medical department, when he's not a doctor, he's a fitness coach. That's even more concerning because the medical department, they aren't responsible for players getting injured. If anything, they are the ones to give the players a clean bill of health and say, okay, they're ready to play. So their job is to treat those that are injured and not, okay. Let's see, Williams that can play left wing, right wing, left wing back, and all the positions you've mentioned while being a dribbling threat. Okay, let's see. Sebastian Poch is a scientist Vic. Okay, fitness scientist maybe. He leads sports science and recovery. Okay, yeah. So that's, by the way, we move on to the next item we have lined up here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Give me 1 second here. This is a bit crazy here. It just goes blank. Okay, this says that Chelsea remain insistent that the club can operate with the Premier League's PSR, that's profitability and sustainability rule, right? And UEFA's financial fair play rules. The club continues to balance success on the field together with the financial imperative of complying with UEFA and Premier League financial regulations. The club has complied with these financial regulations since their inception in 2012 and expects to do so for the foreseeable future. So nothing too much to be concerned about. And the next item here, just give me 1 second, says there's also confirmation that no dividends were paid. The directors do not recommend the payments of dividends. Chelsea grew overall revenue from £481.3 million to £512.5 million. They also increased the commercial commercial revenue from 77.1 million pounds to 210.1 million pounds, which is an increase of 33 million. Roger, can you break the dividends aspect part of this particular report for us? Can you break it down for us a bit? If you'd like me to read it out again, I'll do so.
Yeah, sorry, I'm actually was watching something. Can you repeat that? I apologize, sir.
It says there's also confirmation that no dividends were paid. It didn't say to whom, so that's why I'm a bit confused. The directors do not recommend the payment of dividends to stakeholders. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
To stakeholders. So
yeah,
okay,
that's exactly what a dividend is. A financial. So when
more like a return. But I'm just saying that the issue I had with it, because you've explained now, is that it didn't say to whom they mentioned it. It said dividends. Yeah. It's a confirmation that no dividends were paid. It didn't say to whom. No,
yeah, I'm assuming it's generic.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm assuming it's generically, meaning no one in particular. In other words, from how that is phrased verbatim, I would assume that no dividends are paid out at all. A dividends is basically, shall we call it, not technically, but it's like an ROI, return on investment. So at the end of a fiscal year, an entity can decide, a board can decide whether dividends are paid out for shareholders, for people that own the club. So however you want to term it, whether it's privately or publicly owned shares. So, for instance, if you buy 1,000 shares in company A, at the end of the fiscal year, you could get 0.2% ROI, what is called a dividend. So I don't know. Let's see. I mean, that's what you want to hear. You want to hear the fact that, especially when the club is losing money, technically. I mean, we announced that we lost money for the last fiscal year. And so if that's the case, then I would frown upon them taking out dividends if we're losing money.
Good to hear that they didn't take any, and good to hear that we made profit. Actually,
and this is what I'm talking
grew overall
about.
Revenue. Sorry, we didn't make any profit, but we grew overall revenue by nearly, I don't know what percent. I'm not going to do the calculation.
But our expenditure increased also, hence the loss. And so this is why I compare this ownership group compared to the Glazers, for instance, for Man U. They've been taking out lump sums virtually every year since they took over the club. Whether
they were making money or not.
Exactly.
Or not.
In fact, they've put that club into serious debt. The only thing they've done is that they've moved around the debt. They've restructured the debt, where they're like 700 million, whatever it is, I forget now. But prior to them taking over the club to where they are now, you speak to any expert on Man U, and they're in a world of hurt. They really are. So I'm glad that this is why I always compare them to the Glazers. These owners, have they made mistakes? Of course they have. But I'm talking about these owners are willing to do what they believe is right for the club, and they back their rhetoric with money and are willing to splash the cash. But also, they're not taking any dividends out. So this tells me that they're in it for the long haul. They're not in it for instant gratification. And that's important, ladies and gentlemen. To me, it is anyway. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think it makes sense to say, they in it usually for the long haul. Was that the language you used? I think that's the correct way. Even if
that's
they
the American
are in it,
sir.
Yeah, even if they are in it for profit, I think there's more to gain in the future than trying to take the you could say dividends right now. I think it would be a problem. If they do that, then they're stupid. My opinion. That's a good one. Let's see. One thing Americans I know how to do is to make money, and that's it for you. That's it for you. Okay. Make and spend. We grew revenue by 31 million pounds thanks to the women's team. That's even more specific there from Vic. It's only the first financial year that passed. This is nothing to be celebrated. Okay, if that's how you see it, you go ahead. They want a multi-club model, new stadium, this all takes time. Yeah, they will eventually get there. They cannot share dividends for 10 years. I think that's a different, maybe that's different altogether in terms of taking profit, like you said. I think it's the same thing. It's just different language, maybe. I don't know. Roger, let me correct you. Bali invested less than 10%, 400 million, and has an annual salary of 20 million. He is doing well with that investment. The rest is other people's money, which I doubt he cares that much. Your opinion. But thank you for presenting that. The next item we have lined up here, I'm going to try for us to move as quickly as possible because we have a lot to line up, and then we have to compare Viktor Gyokeres, Victor Osimhen, and then Benjamin Sesko. Chelsea's pre-tax loss in the past 12 months is 90.1 million pounds compared to 121.4 in the previous year. Chelsea grew overall revenue of I think we've seen that, made profit on disposal of player registration and fixed assets of 142.2 million pounds, and has increases in other income, not as specific as. Yeah, go ahead,
Coach. What I want to address JC. JC, when I mentioned owners, it was plural, not singular. I'm talking about as a collective, not individualistically. You know, it's that simple. I'm talking about Clearlake Capital as an entity, the owners of Chelsea. You know, I'm not talking about an individual. Sure, I mean, is 20 million in your estimation too much? I think possibly yes, but I'm just talking about generally speaking, our owners are, in my opinion, they're at least trying. You know, you can criticize them constructively for making mistakes. I have no problem with that. But I'm talking about their approach thus far. Is it perfect? No, but I like the direction there, at least from what we can see. You know, listen, we've been spoiled. We had an owner that was mostly a fan, that was willing to bite the dust.
Chelsea was more like his favorite toy to him.
Yeah, very expensive, £1.5 billion toy, you know, and he wrote off the losses. You know, most people don't do that. So what does that tell you? You know, but this is what we need to understand. We no longer live in that era where there aren't financial ramifications for us losing money. There's PSR now, there's FFP. You know, Roman didn't have those, you know, laws to restrict what he could do financially. I guarantee you, if when he purchased the club in 2003, he had the same rules that we have now, he wouldn't have been able to do what he did. It's that simple. The sooner we understand that, the sooner we can come to terms.
Yep, I appreciate you. We have 52 people watching, 25 of that on X. I appreciate you all. If you're watching on X, if you don't mind, please be sure to follow the account and also subscribe to our YouTube channel so we don't stream on X every time. And Supreme Court is saying this is a long-term investment for them. Naturally, I think they know. I think they know. Naturally, they won't cash in right now. Common sense. Thank you for that. We're still mid-table, yeah. So that's where the focus should be. All these grasping at straws doesn't help. Good way. And my bro is in the house, bro. You know you don't have to do this. You seriously do know you don't have to do this. You're my bro. You know, when I do that, when I come again, join your shows, it comes from the heart. I know this comes from the heart too, but I'm just letting you know you don't have to reciprocate, in my opinion. And you know I mean that. You know you're my bro, and I would do anything to support you. But I appreciate that. But thank you. Sometimes when somebody do such thing for you, you don't reject it, you accept it, and thank them. It's a gesture that you have to cherish. But I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. And if you're watching, if you're in the chat, if you haven't, go check out Almighty Blue's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. Let's help him get to 15,000 subscribers as soon as possible. He deserves that. but he keeps growing. Yeah. But thank you, bro. Thank you from the community also. Roger, that's a response for you there from him. But let me just read it out one more time, and I want to move on. We have a lot lined up, and I don't know if we will have enough time to address them all. This says, well, Roger, Clear Lake and Capital has 100 of investors. Okay, who cares about small investors in a portfolio of 70 to 100 billion? Also, CFC is less than 5% of that portfolio. Failing wouldn't be catastrophic. Okay. I don't know. I'm just going to move on.
No, that's a valid point. But I responded to him. I just said, you know, we could be worse off. That's all I'm saying. You know.
Yeah. And my bro here is saying, big up my guys, keep the blue flag flying high up the Chelsea no matter what. Yep. Chelsea is the entity we support. The gentleman from Talksport was right all along. We need to offload players before June 30th. Otherwise, the financial losses would be catastrophic. But let's see what happens.
That was Stephanie Boston or something. Stefano.
Stefano. Okay.
Yeah. I forgot it's Boston or Bossano or something. I forget the name. I apologize. But this is what he's been espousing. He's come on twice on TalkSport and has basically said, based on public records, that by June the 30th we have to offload certain amount of players for pure profit. By the way, not just sell players for X amount, but
to balance the books more importantly, right?
A net profit of X amount. I forget what it was, like 90, 100 million or something. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into the figures. I'm not sure whether every single one of the accounts are publicly known. I don't know. But the club has publicly denied that. So this is what TalkSport also said, that Chelsea FC have denied what he's saying. So who knows?
So if the club has publicly denied that, so which means we can't say for certain that Stefano that he was correct.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know.
Yeah, billionaires don't like. See, Mark is saying billionaires don't like to be embarrassed, and they will eventually get this right. They just needed to hire the right manager. They wanted the best names in terms of. They wanted to hire. What's his name? The former, was it Liverpool director? And they wanted the PSG guy too, but those guys weren't available. So chances are they still hired them. Edward. Yeah. But we spent more money than under Roman in short time. Yeah, these excuses are very annoying. I don't see it as excuses. They make mistakes. They've made mistakes, and I believe they've learned from it. But we'll find out in the summer whether they've learned from their mistakes. The bankers, that's it. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. This man deserves the best. You genuinely deserve it, deserve it, my bro. I appreciate that. And like I said, that's again something in my culture. When somebody you respect and love gives you something, sometimes you just have to accept it, even if you don't want it. But bro, much love, and you know I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Our match day revenue in a 40,000 stadium is a major hit. Yeah, and that's why they're looking to find a place to build probably a much bigger capacity stadium. They're trying to find different ways to bring revenue to be able to invest in more players. Only Roman was willing to lose money on this. Roman actually did try with regards to the stadium, but there were, you can say, stumbling blocks at the time. A lot that didn't help that much. Let's see. We are fine financially, and we will continue to be fine until we are not. Roger, did you see all the energy I put in reading that? We'll see how it ends. That epitomizes the saying, it's not how we started, but how it ends. Oh my goodness. Just been busy, but took a break today. And as always, came here to the best at Chelsea fan channel. I know. Wow, that means a lot to me, you saying that. By the way, our Blue Alliance show should start hopefully later this year. Just sorting out a few things. I think we should. Probably it will come back better and even stronger. And then we will meet before we start again and sort out things that I think didn't go well at the time. So that once it comes back, then we can say it is back for good. Hello to you too, Choma. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show, Queen of the House. Dalo Onyenkem. We just confirmed we lost 201 million over 2 seasons. The threshold is 105 over 3 seasons, and the next financial statement ends on June 30th. We shall see. Yeah. Vic always comes with the receipts. That's why I don't like it. They took how many months to decide on Pochettino again? How can we trust them to just pick the right manager? Here's why I'll tell you: the next manager we will hire will be the right manager. Except if we hire any manager, the next manager comes in as an interim manager. Here's the thing: they learn. And I've said this. I've said it 1,000 times. These owners, they didn't become billionaires by being stupid. They learned. But here's the thing: one thing is this: they are into taking a lot of risks. That's why that's how they became billionaires.
Coach.
So my point is, for instance, they gave Potter a 1,000-year contract. When he got to Pochettino, they gave him just 2 years with an option to extend it by a further year. They learn. I don't think they repeat the mistakes they make. I think they're going to hire, next manager they will hire will be an established manager, because probably right now they've realized the importance of stabilizing the ship. Stabilize the ship, then you can sail to wherever you want to sail to. Go ahead, Roger. You wanted to say something.
Are you trying to say third time's the charm?
Maybe that's the most again. I should have said that. Maybe that's a tapping. Actually, I created the chance for you, so you put the chance away. So good. You not a tapping.
By the way, coach.
Well.
By the way, just to let you know, Poch is an established manager by definition. So
no, he's not. Do you think he is?
Yeah, by definition, I'd say he's established.
Can you elaborate?
Well, so what is your definition of established? Established meaning that
maybe I should rephrase that. Managers has been there, done it, seen it, done it, and won it all.
Won it all. So how many managers have won it all?
That are available, right?
Let me
go back to what I said before.
There's only 2 or 3 managers that have won it all. Meaning, when you say all, meaning that have won every single.
Not won it, at least have won. You can say have won it at least in 2-3 leagues. Just I don't know what better way to define that.
There's only a handful of
my point, but I'm quite sure you understand my point. You're just clarifying something that if I use the term established manager, then he should be counted as one. But go ahead.
Then you should say elite, not.
Yeah, okay, elite. Yeah, thank you. Elite managers, we should look for them, and that's why I think
there's a big difference between elite and established. A huge.
Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, so that's why you're more than just the managers, lawyers, and also chairman of the goalkeepers union. You're a lot more, but I'm not going to say that right now. That's the thing, Roger. My point is the ship is still wobbly, right? It's not stable.
In what context?
In the context that we have too many young players, that on its own is a risk. We have an inexperienced squad. That on its own is a risk. And when you have an inexperienced squad, inconsistency will be a certainty for sure. So now hiring a manager, for instance, they were mentioning hiring Amorim, and every time everybody comes up with the idea of hiring Amorim, I remind them. The fact that AVB won the Portuguese league without losing a single game, and we hired them. How did this time at Chelsea pan out? We all know about it,
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we need a stable hand.
More than
the sheet right now. It will make it easier, in my opinion. But go ahead. Let's hear you.
I wouldn't say a stable. Okay, this is how I would term it in English. I would say. For our next manager, whether that's tomorrow, next month, next season, 5 years' time, whenever, I think our next manager should be an elite manager. Someone that has proven that he or she can win at the highest level. That's how I would term it. And when I look at, for instance, Sporting Lisbon's manager, he looks like another AVB, another Jose potentially, where Klopp was basically 9 years ago. Can't believe it's 9 years they hired him ago. That's gone really fast. But Klopp wasn't considered elite when they hired him. He was considered a very good manager, but not. He wouldn't be put in the same sentence, the same breath as Pep. But he proved himself.
But now he's become an elite manager.
Right, yeah, exactly. So I would say someone that is elite more so than a person that has potential. That's how I would phrase it, because we've hired that. We've hired Potter. He was, in my opinion, he was hired not from his resume, but on his potential based on what he's done thus far in his short career. So I would say we need to hire someone of a Pep, someone of an Ancelotti. No, I'm not saying him, but I'm saying someone of his ilk, of his caliber. This is, a Klopp caliber, an elite manager. And to me,
here's another language here. Theo Mark, you're saying established and proven are different. I think proven was the language I was looking for.
Okay.
Because Pochettino isn't proven.
Right. Well, yes, he is. Yes, he is, and he's not. If you're going to say he's proven at an elite level, no, I wouldn't. I would agree that he's not. But he's proven he's won things. He's proven that he can play at a consistent. Sorry, not play. Coach at a consistent level and get his team to play at an elite level. Because listen, you make it in the top 4 for 3 or 4 years in a row. I think that's a hell of an achievement, especially when you consider the team, namely Tottenham, was not exactly splashing the cash. They had a very small restricted budget because they were building that stadium. Also, as I've said, I'm actually more impressed with Poch, what he did at Southampton, than what he did anywhere else. Because
he had little resources at that time. He was ill-equipped. Yeah, go ahead.
They were losing players each year because they were selling. They had to survive. And he did very well for Southampton. It was impressive. And yeah, you can say he won things at PSG, but that to me is listen, an incredible team. I'm not saying that their players aren't world class, but I'm talking about the league and their domestic. Yeah.
And can I come in? If he didn't win anything at PSG, I'd advise him to go find a storefront in a cow market.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'm just saying that and that's my whole point. Guess what? Then if managers were that vital, and they are important, don't get me wrong, then you know what? You would have Pep, Klopp, any other elite world-class manager taking a 4th division team and getting them to win the European League, the Champions League. Rochdale United or whatever should be winning the Champions League with Pep as their coach. No, because guess what? The game is won and lost on the pitch with execution. Coaches do make a difference, but guess what? You take Mourinho in his prime, you take Pep in his prime, you take them to the 92nd ranked team in English football. English football only has 92 teams. When I say only, it's the world's largest pyramid. Okay, and let's see where that coach can take them. They can't take them anywhere.
Yeah.
They can't because it's important. That's all I'm trying to. I'm not saying they're worthless. I'm not saying managers / coaches aren't important. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying players are more important than the coach because it's played on the field. Regardless of how well a coach can improve a player, can instill tactics, instill disciplines, etc., it still boils down to the players, I should say, executing, and that's just the tip of it. Yeah, plural. The entire.
I know. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to say.
Do you understand?
I use the tone you use whenever you say soccer. Just saying I couldn't.
No, but you see what I'm saying? It's like obviously they matter. Otherwise, they wouldn't be paid millions each year. But I'm telling you, if they were really as important as everyone puts them on the pedestal, guess what? Then they could take the 92nd team and win the Champions League. Obviously, I'm being immensely facetious here, but you get my gist. I'm trying to underline my point. That's all I'm trying to say. Sarcasm.
Yeah. Tebogo, you wanted to come in before we give back the microphone to those in the chat. If you wanted to answer that, let's hear you.
No, I don't want to fight with Mauricio Pochettino's lawyer.
You should.
I'm sorry.
I think you should. We don't want peace. The more we fight, the better for the viewers. But it's an objective debate. I like them. I enjoy them so much. There's always something to learn. But I appreciate you. Let's see, where did I stop here? Let me find that and continue with it. Go back here. A lot to catch up with, but I'm going to keep quite a few stuff here. Okay, we stopped here, and yeah, that's a good contribution right there, and I like it. Where is it? Oh my gosh, okay, there you go, this guy here. Just have Rich Moneymakers having a conversation. Your boys will hire Deservi or Frank, and we will bring it back. I don't think so. I don't think they hire either of the two managers you just mentioned, but that's just my opinion. But we'll find out. Roger Fowler, let's say hello to you. Established as a fraud in multiple countries. Just go away. Roger, no non-bottle jobs. Non-bottle jobs. Yeah, those are the elite managers. International fraud. You guys are all going to that place. Paul Winstanley has one more chance to hire the right manager, or he's getting fired. I don't think they'll risk too much. It's business. I don't think probably they'll leave it up to him to hire the managers, but we'll find out. Do you hear we could buy Benjamin Sesko? Yeah, we get to that in a bit. No more chances. Winstanley isn't capable of the job. We'll find out in elite. Yeah, there you go, my brother, with the definition there. Elite, ideally, a manager who has at least won a couple of major league titles, major European Cups, not one of, also worked successfully at a club which has a global fan pressure. Wow. Manage big ego players. This is, you can say, the delicious comment of the day. I'm not being biased here because that's my bro. But this is well composed, Roger. What do you think? It is very well composed.
Yeah, I believe an elite manager. I think there's only a handful, literally, between, let's say, 5 to 7 elite managers in the world. Mm-hmm. I really believe that. But by the definition, literally, it's literal definition. And so I think it would behoove us to for our next manager to be an elite manager. You know, it's hard to say though. It's a gamble if we go on someone that is not proven, you know, to have been elite. That doesn't mean to say that we can't find the next Pep or the next Klopp, right? I mean, we could get coach.
We can, but the question is, do we have the luxury to risk hiring
exactly.
managers that aren't you can say established, because it compounds our issues.
Right, exactly. I'll just give an example. Like we could put, which we're never going to probably, we could put Thiago Silva. He could be our next manager. You know, former player, turn out to be better than Pep. Obviously, he has no experience, but this is what Pep did. You know, I'm just using him as a silly example, and he could win the next 10 Premier Leagues in a row and the next 10 Champions League in a row. Obviously, I'm exaggerating to the nth degree, but one doesn't know. But it's you know, high risk, high reward.
For everything.
Yeah, one doesn't know. One doesn't know where the next Sir Alex Ferguson, the next Pep is coming from. If they did, you know, there'd be many suitors. But I personally, I would feel more comfortable getting an already established elite manager, someone that excels in, that pressure doesn't get to them, that knows what it takes, that is, you know, shall we say, strategically very sound, you know, with regards to formations, with regards to player personnel, just the whole gamut of things that are required by definition. But they are A, expensive, and B, it's hard to find one that's available. And would that person want to come to Chelsea? You would hope so, but, you know, maybe they don't want to. You know, like Klopp, I don't see, according to Klopp, and I think it's possible he could change his mind, but I think there's I'm fairly convinced that I don't see him ever coaching anyone else other than Liverpool in the Premier League. Because of, I think that's a fair assumption. I'm not saying he can't change his mind.
But you wouldn't hold your breath on that, would you?
No, I certainly wouldn't even bet $1. So, so he's already out of the equation. Mm-hmm. You know, because he's a legend at that club now. He really is, and rightfully so. So, You know, they're not a dime a dozen. You know, so it's hard. And by the way, it's not just the manager, elite manager you bring. It's also, you need to understand, it's also his staff that he brings. They're just as important, if not more so, than, especially if that elite manager doesn't even coach on the training ground, like Sir Alex. Sir Alex wasn't a coach, right? He didn't. He hardly did anything. His actual coaches coached. He hardly ever had any input on the training ground. You see what I'm saying? So it depends on how you define, you know, a manager towards a coach. So a coach is actually more important than a manager per se, you know, in that regard, in that broad definition. So there's a lot of variables, but yeah, do we have to get it right? Yes, but you can say the same about us acquiring players and who to let go. It's a whole gamut. It's a whole spectrum of everything we need to get right. It's not just one thing you can put your hat on. We have to get multiple things right.
Yep. Roger, let me give those in the chat the microphone. We'll come back, move to the next item. I'm trying for us to, as best I can, for us to get to the comparing Osimhen, Gyokeres, and then Benjamin Sesko. Saying Roger, the only elite manager available right now, Mourinho, Thomas Tuchel, Conte, all the names. I wouldn't even Conte. He hasn't won any European competition. He hasn't.
I don't think he has actually.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
That shows you how hard it is to be elite.
Yeah,
right?
to be you could say categorized as elite. He's not close. I think he bottles it when it matters. In Europe, he struggles quite a lot.
But then again, would you call Zidane elite? See, as opposed
He's won
to
the Champions League.
Right.
Yeah,
But you know what? I think my 5-year-old daughter could have done that with that team. I mean, seriously, you have Galacticos.
It's one of those situations that had he not he wasn't the one that won the 3 Champions Leagues in a row.
Yeah. So
that's I think that isn't easy, no matter how we see it. But right. You can argue also had it if he wasn't able to win at least one, you would be advising him to go get a storefront in a cow market. But
coach, when you look at the levels of goals that they had, you know, the players, Bale, look at Bale's bloody over the head kick that won them the Champions League. I mean, that had nothing to do with him. It has pure talent on that field. They had a squad, not even a team, a squad that was so deep. You know, I don't look at him as an elite manager, even though he's won it all, because of the fact is he was playing with a team that was loaded. Do you understand me? So this is my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right. But this is my opinion. I think Conte.
We're all speaking our opinions here.
Right. I think Conte is a better manager than Zidane because he's won it in multiple leagues too. Has he won a European trophy? No, but guess what? I think he has a greater understanding of the game. And that's just my opinion. But by definition, Conte's not elite, but yet Zidane, by its literal contextual definition, is an elite manager, which I don't consider him to be. So it all depends how you look at it.
All right. I'm not going to let anybody in the chat stop me again. I'm just going to breeze through whatever you guys have there. Not you, Roger. There isn't anyone available of that club and Pep level. You can argue that. We are 2 years into our review with 3 false starts and counting with Lampard, Potter, and Pochettino. One more. The Potter assistant that we wanted to keep to the end of the season, but he didn't want to stay. Roger is right. We have used up all our training manager budget. The next gaffer has to be the one. Yeah, and I believe they will get it right. Poch has proven he can consistently create bottle jobs. You could, I mean, there's a pattern to that anyway. If Poch is not proven, then who's in my opinion? But I'm not going to get into that now. We don't have too much time. Poch is great for that level of club. In clubs like Chelsea and PSG, where the pressure is on because of the hire and fire model, Poch isn't capable of handling that pressure. It's looking like that's more the case. But that's, by the way, breaking news from my contacts. Carney Chukwuemeka rejoined team training today. From your contact, okay, there's proven managers available. There are and always gettable money. Yeah, do we have the luxury to pay them? You can say the salary demands. I don't know. Players are more important than a coach, and that's on that's on a period. Nicely worded, Roger. I can't believe you are agreeing with Roger today. I want you to disagree so that things will get tensed here.
But coach, that cost me a lot, though.
I am just curious how much the dynamic has changed. If we had a Poch in, Poch out poll today, what would be the result? A lot of Poch out, unfortunately. I've tried that, and I've seen polls out there also, not just as, unfortunately, the way it is. But I'm not going to be screaming Poch out every day. You know my opinion, and yeah. Let's see what else we have. Constantine, you're going there. It seems a lot of fans have moved on and are already discussing next manager. Yeah, exactly. So that's a follow-up of that particular comment there. Roberto Martinez beat Everton, Chelsea, and Man City in the FA Cup final with Wigan. So, Roger, anything is possible with the right manager. Yeah, but we don't want it to be a risk again. Mauricio Pochettino says Levi Cole's injury injured his toes.
What?
We have to build a winning coach. No proven manager that isn't outdated is available. Wow. I know where you're going with that one. Just get the manager that has actual cojones. I remember the first time I saw this word I pronounce it cajones. It's not too much that. They may not be available, but the first who are elite are Carlo, Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Conte counts. Okay, if you think he counts, for me, in my opinion, he doesn't. Thomas Tuchel, Zinedine Zidane, Roberto Mancini, is he elite? Did he win? He didn't win any European champ, did he? Correct me if I'm wrong. Hans Flick, of course. Diego Simeone, I wouldn't count him as elite. Yes, I think it depends on who you ask. It depends, because there's no, you can say, a defined criteria to decide who is elite and who isn't. So it depends on who you ask, in my opinion. Conte brought Juventus back from relegation and won the league numerous times, in Italy. And then won in the Premier League with Chelsea, and then he won the FA Cup. Was it the FA Cup with them? Turned them into a dominant club. Has he won any European trophy? So it depends on who you ask. Conte has no European Cup, but winning Serie A and EPL is good too. Yeah, it's good, but I wouldn't count him as an elite manager.
But by the way, can I quickly say
something
to the beautiful game? Then Frank Lampard with Chelsea beat Everton with Carlo Ancelotti, quote unquote, with the right manager. No, that had nothing to do with the bloody manager. It had to do with the players. Chelsea had a much better squad. Come on.
Yeah, a lot has to do with the players you have. If you don't have the right tool, no matter how good you are at doing something, you're not going to be able to achieve anything. And JC, he didn't win anything with the Italian national team. I don't think he did. We don't have the luxury of getting it wrong again. It's simple as that.
No, he won the European Cup against Chelsea. Remember, 3 years ago, in the final.
Who?
Man City's former manager. What's his name?
Mancini.
Yeah, Mancini has won the European trophy.
Has he? Okay.
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking about Conte right now.
No. When, Roger, which club?
With Italy, the national team.
But he said Chelsea.
So
he won. Was it the manager?
Mancini won the Premier League with Man City. Then, as the national coach, didn't he?
Won a European trophy. Won Euros, right?
Yeah, he won the Euros against England. Trust me, I watched it.
Was he winning? I didn't remember. Okay.
Yes, he won, but he said against Chelsea. That's why I was saying, like, What?
No. But can I ask a question? Listen, Tuchel hasn't won a European trophy, has he? But he's well, actually, he did with Chelsea. But I'm talking about the league. How many leagues has Tuchel won? Because he's won European and FIFA trophies, but how many leagues has he won? He hasn't won the Premier League.
Only as League R.
Right, and how he hasn't won in any other. He didn't win the German league. He hasn't won the Premier League. Would you consider him elite by definition?
Yes, I think if you win.
Now I like Tuchel a lot. I mean,
You got him there. You got him.
he's a huge. Listen, I love Tuchel. If you ask me, if I was given the choice for my next manager, would it be Tuchel? Probably. I like him immensely, not just because of what he won for us, but how he conducted himself under the unbelievable circumstances with which we were going through, under the sanctions. He was incredible for Chelsea. But I'm not sure whether you can call him elite by the definition. Listen, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. That's all I'm doing.
No, there's no definite definition for that. There's no criteria to measure who's elite and who isn't. Some people will look at how well a manager coached a team and how far you can say, for instance, JC mentioning Antonio Conte helping Juventus get promoted and all that, counting it as one of his achievements. Counting, here's the thing, it depends on who you ask. There's no, for instance, if we talk about a player being a generational talent, some people would tell you Mbappe is. Has Mbappe dominated an entire generation? Going by, you could say, what generational talent, the words there, what they imply, then I'd say no, he isn't. Some people will tell you he is. So I think we don't have anything with which to any you can say definite definition to look at and say, okay, such a manager is what do I call it? It's a proven manager or an elite manager. I think it depends on who you ask right now. Maybe we need to do a show on that.
Conte with Juve, he won like 4 Scudettos, right? 4 of them, if I'm not mistaken, consecutively.
I don't know. It may be more, or I don't know. But
3 or 4.
He won a lot with them.
Right, but didn't that same team with multiple managers win 9 or 10 consecutive?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
in totality,
it was a 1-team league. So let's be honest. But listen,
Coach Roger has been injured all season. Some of his conclusions are provocative. Something else here. I like this one. I hope that doesn't come across as insulting to you, Roger. It says if Roger's princess can do a Zidane at Chelsea, then I want Poch out immediately. It's a joke. I think it's.
I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
Poch is an elite, but one more experienced. But one of more experienced EPL managers. Yep. Been to cup finals apart from one major league. So respected a bit more than the inexperienced ones, I suppose. Matter of when and not if out. Yeah, exactly. Let's see what else we have here, Coach. I am not joking. Pochettino stated in his presser that Colwell injured his toes. Must be blisters.
It could be
what can be serious that? Wow. Mancini and Simone have won multiple major league. Simone has a Europa League trophies. He won one against Chelsea, I think, in a single game where Falcao scored. Was it 4 goals against us? So but he hasn't won the Champions League. I mean, you could say it counts. Xavi Hernandez is more than Poch. Let's see. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Sorry, I can't get everybody's comment. I apologize. I'll try to get your subsequent contributions in the chat. Apologies to my bro, Constantine Dante. Also, you are saying that winning with Dortmund over Bayern is an achievement. Did they win? Did Tuchel win the league? Did he win the Bundesliga at Bayern, at Dortmund?
He won a cup.
No.
Only a cup.
No, he
won a cup, but not okay.
Coach, Bayern have won 10 years consecutively. Okay, so let's put it that way.
I think we're into definition fights today. Coach, world-class, elite words to hide behind when one cannot explain why a certain manager is good or not. We knew Poch was trash before appointment, but we wanted to give him a chance because it's a first for everything. Go ahead, Jude. It looks like you're here to say something quickly so that we can catch up. We still haven't compared the three players we're supposed to be comparing. We're supposed to compare today. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, can you hear me very well?
Yeah, crystal clear. Go ahead.
Okay, now I was just trying to say that Roger was right with his definition of elite. That you see, for me, why I regard Conte as an elite, even though his name was least among Mourinho and Tuchel, his name was like number 3. It's because he won the Premier League, and that's the strongest league in the whole world. So he started it on a very bad slate, and then he was able to strategize himself and was able to win the league. So, and for me, if you win English Premier League, I think you are up there. And not like he got it on a platter of no struggle, like he came and inherited. So they started very bad, and he was able to turn it around. So it was a big achievement to me. Yeah, and then I think he has a bit of behavioral issues that can't let him stay long in the club too, maybe getting angry and all that. But I think he's elite, even though he hasn't won European Cup, and that was why he was the least on that league. But I think he makes it. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. But I'm still gonna go back to saying it depends on who you ask. All right, people, we're gonna switch topic. We don't have too much time. I know my brother Ankit will understand, and JC, all of you, Constantine Dante will understand. We don't have too much time. We have a lot to address. We're gonna move from this particular item here. I think this is where we are. We'll go to this one here. It just went blank, which says so Thomas Tuchel has never ruled out a return to Chelsea. He still has the club in his sight. His greatest short-term desire is to return to the Premier League. He doesn't see his project. He doesn't see his project there as complete yet. An unfinished business. Maybe there's another time for that. But here's what I want to say is this: I'm not too sure, and we did address a particular report yesterday, which read something to the effect of Ball feels like Tuchel will be the perfect manager for the current project or something,
really?
Or will be better. I can't quite remember. But here's the thing, I don't know whether this will happen. I don't know. It would take a lot for it to happen.
Okay,
but go ahead, Roger.
No, actually, I missed yesterday's show. I apologize. So can I ask you a question? Do you think, yes or no, realistically, at the end of this season, let's say, if they're looking for another manager, if they've decided the ownership, and when I say ownership, I'm including obviously the sporting directors, because I would assume that they are the ones that will be making the decisions. Do you believe that there's a possibility, and if so, what is the likelihood of Tuchel returning to Chelsea?
Why did you say just yes or no?
Well, first of all, yes or no, and if yes, then what is the likelihood?
It's difficult to say, Roger, and that's because we don't know what transpired between him and the owners that led to him getting fired. So until we know that, then until I know that, I don't think I'll be able to answer that question objectively, because we don't know percentage-wise. Yeah, the most we heard, and I think it was you that preached that quite a lot. That if we heard what he did, that if we were again, that we'd fire him too. So, and that isn't enough for me. But we're hearing, you can say, we're seeing reports that suggest a change in tone. You can say suggesting the possibility of him returning, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that. We don't know. But percentage-wise, anytime, any day.
Percentage-wise, is it 5%, 50%, whatever? What do you think the chances of him returning percentage-wise then? What would you put on
my hunch? 50-50.
Really? That high?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's great.
Yeah. Because I'm not too sure. Go ahead. Tebogo.
Yes, I agree with Coach. Remember, Thomas Tuchel loved Chelsea.
Yeah.
And then even the reports saying about him that he asked Todd Bowley not to sack him. He felt like it's too early, but the decision was already made by the owner. So 2.0 of Tuchel never rule it out. But again, they must make sure to fix their relationship, which is important. No, otherwise, don't hire him then, because what's the use of hiring him and then the relationship is still sour? No, no, no.
But you know what though, Tebago? There's something that is different in this equation now.
Roger,
They will
Roger,
have a
just quickly. If you're saying to me who say it straight, don't break it into three.
but there's something that's really important. But before the hierarchy was owners to the manager. Now there's a buffer. The direct superiors are not the owners anymore for the manager. It's the sporting directors. So there's a buffer between the owners and the manager now. So theoretically, they may not even have to communicate, if that makes sense. So by definition.
But
so what's your
Roger,
percentage you said how your percentage possibility of him coming back?
Sorry?
You asked me, would you say 50-50, or do you think it's lopsided?
I would say it's about 10%. But I'm
Really?
open. I feel that sadly that won't transpire. Would I want it? Every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Roger, remember, right? Since Chelsea fired Thomas Tuchel, our fans hate Todd Bowley and Ekbali, even let's say the owners. So by hiring back, they might fill that void and then restart again. Ever since they sacked Thomas Tuchel, I'm telling you, the fans hate the owners. So I think they'll consider that, but overall, I think they must hire the best coach for current squad. But as you said, I want an elite coach also. I don't want another project manager again. I want an elite coach, no matter what.
We don't have the luxury to take risks or to give managers time anymore.
That's a valid point. The diehard Chelsea fan base love Tuchel. Let me tell you, he can do no wrong. He could eat a pizza with a knife and fork and they will still love him. Okay? They love him. And also, guess what? It gives the owners credibility back again. You're so right in that regard. Yeah, it's a good analysis. I agree.
Yeah. Coach hiring Pochettino is like betting all your money, house in a worldly positions on it. You sound like a pastor. Worldly positions on a three-legged horse. We knew he'd have a heart attack when he heard the starters piece. So he was always a trash. Wow. They wouldn't hire TT. You never know. Tuchel had us a 9 with experienced players, but we were having issues at the time, and he saw that coming. Actually, before we started struggling, he saw it coming. He wanted us to make changes, but we didn't really make the changes he wanted at the time. We made the changes probably a bit too late, in my opinion. Imagine where he would be with these kids. I think he'd do better with them. He's good with kids, if you don't know. We need a very good coach that will transform our team into a better team. And here's something quickly. Managers, when he won us the Champions League, Club World Cup, one more thing, Europa Super Cup, we were singing him praises and thinking he was the best in the world, but because he had issue, he struggled, and we were 9th at the time. So he's the worst manager right now. We do need a very good coach. Keep dropping the lights on the stream, people. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Then I'll try to get your subsequent contributions. Apologies, we're running out of time, and we still haven't actually compared the players. And this particular report here, come on, says that Nico Williams is on Chelsea's list of players being monitored. He has a 50 million euros. That should be 40 plus pounds, million pounds release clause. So they know all the conditions. At the moment, nothing is 100% decided yet. And there are also other clubs Kane, but Nico is on Chelsea's list.
Ah.
Is on Chelsea's list since last summer. He's a good player, but still very young. So a lot of people will not be happy given that he's just 21. Chelsea are weighing up a move for the Atletico Bilbao winger Nico Williams this summer. Williams, who has a release clause of around 43 million pounds in his current contract. This differs a bit from the report by what's his name, Fabrizio Romano. Roger, you wanted to say something?
No. I wasn't sure who you were talking about. Then I heard Nico, so okay, I apologize.
Oh, okay. Let's say keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with. And this one here is saying Chelsea will look to sign a traditional number 9. They have attracted Napoli's Victor Osimhen, RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko, and Sporting Lisbon's Viktor Gyokeres. We'll move on from that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. I'm going to try to do the comparisons right now so we can round up soon. Somebody have actually knocked on my door, already. Nico Williams' medical history is equally impressive. Just check the scouting statistics. I would do that, but not right now. Big up Coachila, bless Panelist. I think TT's performance this season at Bayern triggers memories of our performances on the preseason tour. Not sure the diehards are that invested into his thing. I'm going to say this. Christian Pulisic fans wouldn't want him to come back because some of the hatred for him stems from his perceived you can say ill treatment or bad treatment of Christian Pulisic, and also in some cases Romelu Lukaku. I think he has it in him. The Bayern team, for me, the issues are deeper than just Thomas Tuchel, but he's going to get blamed for where they are. But nice to see you, Bobby. I like Nico Williams, but we are making the exact same errors we made last year, sniffing around for players while the future of the coach is uncertain. Good point. Who knows whether the managers coming would want to have that player in particular, in the squad. Nico will fit perfectly in Poch Juniors of Fitness Health Scheme. Just go away. Big up to you too, big. I appreciate you finding time to join. This CT talk is more club PR to deflect from the. I don't believe in the club PR thing, in my opinion, but I know that's something you're seriously into. Not going to happen. If I see something that's more of a club PR, I will argue that that's the case, but this isn't really, in my opinion. Nico will be good if we get a proven striker. If not, it's going to be the same thing as this year. So I'm going to start this and share the other screen. So do present like this, share screen, so we can share the other one as quickly as possible. I need to go help get the boys ready. Okay. So this season we have 3 here. For Viktor Gyokeres for 23-24 season, he's played 36 matches in total. He scored 32 goals in total. Assists, he has 10 assists in total. He's on fire this season. For Victor Osimhen this season, he's played 22 matches and he scored 13 goals with 3 assists. Not bad. Not bad for 23-24, given that he was out injured and he had to, again, he went for AFCON too. His back end is scoring goals for them also. For Benjamin Sesko, this season he's played 32 matches, he scored 11 goals and 1 assist. But I'm going to say this, as much as you can say he's performed the least of these 3 players, I think he's he'd most likely be the one we'll sign in the summer. That's because he wouldn't cost much. But that's just my opinion anyway. Tuchel shouldn't be okay. I'm gonna move on from the Tuchel thing. We're comparing these players. So we'll move on. Of course, club PR, an attempt to make Bolly look reasonable. We all know, and not we all. That's I love you, bro, but you're not speaking for all of us. But at least if you're gonna speak for every other person, count me out. No, we all don't know. I don't know, really. I think it's going to be tight, though. I agree. Gyokeres is more technical than Osimhen with good end product. Osimhen is a different type of number 9. He's more traditional type of number 9. And he's played as that since you can say since all his life. He's played more as a traditional number 9. And I've always argued he's going to have issues at Chelsea, and that's because we will be expecting him to score 20-30 goals per season forgetting that Mauricio Pochettino approaches the game differently. He wants a more fluid approach and would want the number 9 to be dropping deep, which means we're not going to be channeling all our goal scoring opportunities through a single individual, being Victor Osimhen, and that's an issue. But that's my opinion anyway. Coach is in fast forward mode. Yeah, like it's going. Is there anyone on this final that believes that TT could come back? I said 50-50.
Yes.
Chances are it will not happen. So this is let's go of 22-23. I think. But Roger, going by the numbers for 23-24, Osimhen still, you could argue, still fine, given that he played 22 and scored 13. Gyokeres played 36 and scored 36 goals in total. What do you think? I think you could say he's still done well, given the fact that he had to leave his club for AFCON, and plus he was out injured for a while.
Who are you referring to? Osimhen.
Osimhen compared to Gyokeres. Gyokeres is on fire this season, as the stats on the screen show.
Listen, Osimhen, he looks like the real deal. However,
in terms of what you need in the Premier League, right?
Yes and no. I think. How tall is he? How big is he, Osimhen? I think the other two.
He's 6 foot plus. No wonder why he's a beast aerially.
Yeah, and listen, the other guys, Gyokeres from Sporting and Benjamin Sesko, they're pretty big guys too. So their build, in fact, it looks like Sesko seems to be bigger. Or actually, no, sorry, it's the Victor guy from Sporting. It looks like a bigger. But my concern is his injury woes. And listen, all three of them are not Premier League proven.
When you say that shows his Chelsea, his proper Chelsea, like as Rodrigo Rogers would say.
Chelsea feeding scheme, right?
No,
yeah,
because
listen, proper Chelsea. Go ahead, Roger.
No, the reason why I say that doesn't mean to say they can't succeed. I'm just basing it on the amount of players that move to the Premier League and don't succeed, especially in the number 9 position. Just being honest with you. Okay, so the one player that I really wanted was Højlund, that went to Man United. You know, he ticks all the boxes, and he looks like he could be a real deal. It's too early to tell yet, right? It's only his first season, but he looks legitimate, and so I'm looking at those players and I'm trying to compare them to him in that sense. My only thing about Osimhen is he seems to be a bit injury prone. That doesn't mean to say that he could stay healthy for the rest of his career, but it worries me because he can't stay healthy in Italy, and Italy is nowhere near as physical as the Premier League the last decade or so. Don't get me wrong, it's every league you can get hurt, but I'm talking about just your average day-to-day tackles. That doesn't bode well for me. That's a big question mark. He's very good aerially, Osimhen, you know, but so are the other two. You know, I've watched comps. Comps doesn't mean anything, but at least I can see that. Guess what? That person, like was it Sesko that I looked at a couple of days ago? Guess what? He's far superior than Jackson is in the air. Technically, the way he can use his head, flick the head, not just guide the ball, but actually, you know, like a Thiago Silva headers the ball, you know? So it shows a preponderance of ability, technical ability aerially. And but it sounds petty, but it's very important for a number 9. They have to be able to, you know, like a Giroud, be able to score aerially. It's in this league, this is vital. And all three can head the ball. That's the one thing I like about all three of them. They're all aerially competent. So that to me is important.
Just quickly, I'm going to be cutting everybody short now. I should be gone by now, but I think.
Sorry.
No. It's not your fault, Roger. Portuguese teams, besides the top 3, are very, very average. Let's see. I think I have a question there for Roger.
That's true.
Osimhen has 1. I think we'll go back one season. We'll still continue. We'll do part 2 of this. where we look at you can say how consistent they've been season after season. I think Osimhen, you could argue, has been the most consistent. Roger, who would be the better number 9, Osimhen or Lukaku? Roger, let's hear you. Can you just answer that one quickly before I go to Oladipo Masole?
Why do we?
He's mentioned the forbidden name, right?
Yeah. Why do we have to swear on this channel? It's unacceptable. Of course, Osimhen, because of his mindset. If he had one leg amputated, I'd pick Osimhen because the other chap is a cancer in the locker room.
All right, Jude, let's hear you, Jude, if you're there. Let's keep it short, a minute or two. I can deal with Tebogo later. I can actually kick him out and he wouldn't mind. He's my bro. Jude, I know you're my bro too, but you haven't spoken for a while. But let's hear you, Jude. When you make the stats, we just compared. And by the way, goals per 90 minutes, Osimhen is far better. His average is 0.79 goals per 90 minutes. Gyokeres 0.3. So it makes sense because he's played more also, 0.82 per 90 minutes. So he has more. Okay, he's better in terms of goals per 90 minutes, more than Osimhen. Assists per 90 minutes is 0.22. He's done way better than Osimhen, this season. The least is Benjamin Sesko. Go ahead, let's hear you.
Of course, Lukaku is a no-no because he damaged his reputation before the fans. So you don't want to have that kind of. It's like bringing Rafa Benitez to come and coach Chelsea. You don't want to have a player like that in the locker room. So I'll take Osimhen because he's still young and he has more room for improvement. And he's a very strong guy. He's a strong guy. He's a fighter. And I believe that if he works with the team.
Just 1 second quickly. Roger, if you still have time, you can lead the conversation. After Jude speaks, you can bring in Tebogo to speak. I'm not just going to be highlighting comments. I'll be back in a bit too, so we can round up. Let me not just cut it short like that.
Okay. So and then I also believe that. Yeah, I also believe that the other guy is not really. We need top guys, and now when you are talking of the striker market, I think after Erling Haaland, I think Victor Osimhen is next in terms of pedigree, in terms of if you list them in the market. I'm not saying in terms of ability, but in terms of pedigree, like, okay, the big names out there, those are the things we need if we need to get to where we used to be. Enough of we've been testing and testing. So for me, I think Jackson can grow to become anything that Viktor Gyokeres wants to become. So instead of going for those younger guys that are still coming up, I would just want to keep Jackson and help him to grow more. That's before. If we want to sign somebody, Osimhen. And finally, on the issue, I would like to say that Osimhen has always said that before he signed his extension with Napoli, he already knew where he's going. I hear some people saying, "Oh, it's going to be going to Chelsea to get Osimhen." If Chelsea is where he's going, if it is, then it's a done deal. But I don't know if it's Chelsea. But Osimhen knows where he's going, and wherever he's going, it's a done deal. Yeah, thank you.
Victor Osimhen. Come on, guys. No yada, no ching and stuff. No more developing a striker, blah, blah, blah. Overall, I love Benjamin Sesko. He's an excellent player. I wouldn't mind him in Chelsea. But at the moment, we have so many kids and then we lack leaders. So every time I watch Victor Osimhen plays for Napoli or for his national team, I see a leader there. So I want someone like him at Chelsea. So overall, my 100%, I'm choosing Victor Osimhen. Yes, he has so many injury issues. There's a slight concern with me. Even Roger mentioned it. But overall, hopefully, he can overcome those injuries.
How old is Osimhen?
25 years old.
Yeah, that's still young.
He's still young. And then, if we don't get Victor Osimhen, I wouldn't mind Viktor Gyokeres because I watch this player every week. He's so good at the moment, and he's on fire. And then he's getting to his peak. That's why you get a striker. You don't get a striker when he's 21, 20 years, 19. No. Get a striker when he's getting to his peak. And at the moment, Victor Gyokeres is getting to his peak. So overall, Victor Osimhen, my choice, and then Victor, the other Victor, my second chance. Sesko, I love you, my boy, but I don't want another project striker at Chelsea. No more project things. I had another third season with project. Please, guys, I hopefully, Lawrence Stuart, Paul Stanley, you listen to us. No more project striker at Chelsea. It's annoying to watch our players missing chance after chance. It's annoying. So, Victor Osimhen, you're my choice. Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen.
Please remind me. I'm a little bit confused as to who you prefer. No, so can I ask you a question though? Listen, Sesko is only 20. The other two are what, 25-ish. So I got to admit, for a 20-year-old, Sesko does look really good for his age, though. That's the one thing I like about him. But you're right, though. We already have so many fetuses on our team. I feel that Osimhen, out of all of them, I think will bring more leadership. That's a really valid point. But what about the price though? Sesko is really cheap. He's like 40 million, right?
43 million.
Okay, and so if it comes down to the fact that we're really tight on money because of budget, I wouldn't mind us getting Sesko because of the fact he's maybe less than half the price of I don't know how much Osimhen would cost. Probably 100 million, I'm assuming, give or take.
130 million, Victor Osimhen, and then the other
Really?
Victor.
Are you talking euros or pounds?
Euros.
Okay, so 120, 115 million pounds. That's nearly 3 times the price of a Sesko. Like I would rather get a Sesko and Musiala or Sesko and a João Felix than an Osimhen. I'd rather get 2 really high-end players than one.
But I like your opinion, Roger. But this is what our board did, right? In terms of the spending of the 1 billion, we reduced the fees, buying bunch of potential and stuff, not adding elite players to our club.
You're preaching to the choir. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir. I totally agree with you. And not just that. To me, it's not even that. It's I don't mind us buying young players, but if they have leadership also, like a Terry, that's that kind of mentality. I think we've bought young players without this inherent leadership quality, and that bothers me. I think Osimhen brings you that leadership also. I agree with you. But to me, the price is a big factor. Also, I don't know. It's a tough one. Do you see any weaknesses in Sesko's game?
Man, Sesko is still raw. If you watch him against Real Madrid, I think he missed the 1-on-1. But overall, every striker misses chances. I don't want to hear excuse say Benjamin Sesko missed 1-on-1. Even Erling Haaland missed chances. Kane missed chances. But overall, to avoid a delay to get us into the top 4 or challenging for trophies, get us an elite players. Even for example, he's 23 years or 24 years. But as long as an elite player that already knows how to deal with pressure, I'm happy with it.
Can I ask
but
you,
don't get me.
Viktor Gyokeres, does he have, what's his medical history like? Is he able to stay healthy or no?
I think so. Let me check it for you. I'll come back to you.
Yeah, because I actually haven't looked it up. I thought maybe you would know. I don't know much about him. I'll be really honest with you. I know I've watched very little. He plays for Sporting, right?
Correct.
I believe he plays for Sporting. Yeah, it's either them or Benfica. I always get confused. But yeah, I don't know hardly anything about him. That's the thing that I can't really give an opinion. But I've seen a bit more of Victor from Leipzig, and I don't know. He's very young though. That's the thing that concerns me. I agree. It's just that none of these three are Premier League proven. Like, okay, if you had the choice, let's say the prices are similar between Ivan Toney or Osimhen, who would you prefer?
Victor Osimhen. You know, with Ivan Toney, my only issue is those gambling issues.
I agree. I agree.
Remember, if he gambles again playing for Chelsea, oh my gosh, the media will love it because it's Chelsea.
And he could get like a lifetime ban or at least 1 or 2 year ban. They would make an example out of him. Yeah, I agree. But just the fact that I've watched him play a lot more than any of the other three, and he looks like the real deal. I mean, to me, yeah. I'll be honest with you. It's no pun intended. It is a gamble if we do buy him, because you never know if he's doing more things illegally. He could really screw us. We could get, yeah. I don't know. I personally would prefer Toney on the field. Reasons why, because he looks the complete player. Well, I would probably prefer Kane, but he's going to cost an arm and a leg. But Osimhen, I've watched him play. I like him a lot, but it's just the injury issues and the fact that he hasn't played in this league. I don't know. You know, to be honest with you, I've got to admit, choosing a number 9 is not easy because there's so many advantages to all of these players and a few disadvantages. It's a very tough position to get right. And that's why they're so rare to get a Lewandowski kind of player. Does that make sense? You know, like personally, I wish Lewandowski was 5 years younger. I'd rather we go for him than anyone in the world. I love him.
But he doesn't want us.
Amazing player.
Just Barca above us. Remember, we wanted him before he went to Barca.
Can you speak in the microphone so I can barely hear you?
Okay, I said Lewandowski doesn't want us, that he chose Barca ahead of us. Because Chelsea was interested in him before he moved to Barca. But he still went to Barca. My major problem with Gyokeres is just the fee. The amount they are charging for him is too much. The guy is good, but I just feel we've been asked for almost 100 million for him. That's a lot of money.
Is that how much they want?
Yeah, I think it's about 100 million pounds.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So that's my problem is that money, not the guy himself. Yeah. I like the guy.
But he's not as proven as Osimhen.
Yeah, he's not as proven as Osimhen, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for someone that's no disrespect to him, that has not reached the heights of Osimhen.
Exactly.
That's a huge gamble.
That's because it's Chelsea.
Oh, you mean the Chelsea tax, of course.
Yeah. That money is too much.
So hypothetically, if we had to choose between Victor or Benjamin, who would you rather have?
You mean Benjamin Sesko?
Yeah.
I would choose Viktor Gyokeres, yeah.
Oh, you would still pick Victor over Benjamin, really?
No. If Victor was affordable, but
okay.
But if both of them were going for the same amount of money, I would choose Viktor Gyokeres. But with that 100 million pounds, I don't even want to entertain it at all. I'll choose Benjamin because it's doable. It's still within the range of wise spending, you know.
Yeah, I think I can't believe we're saying 40 million is affordable. You know, when we paid 30 million for Kante, I couldn't believe it. I thought that was ridiculous amounts of money. Now you can't get a tea lady for 30 million.
Roger, guess what?
What, sir?
Viktor Gyokeres doesn't have any medical issues.
Really? So he's missed hardly any games, really?
Yes, he never got injured.
Oh, I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing, actually.
That's a good thing for me.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, I mean that's good then. He doesn't have knee problems or hamstring problems. That's good. And yeah, I don't know. To be honest with you, if we had to pick a player that has never played in the Premier League but looks like the real deal, I got to admit, Osimhen, I can see him succeeding in the Premier League. I really can. But I can also see him being an injury problem. That's the only thing that leaves a sour taste. That's the only thing. Because look at Lavia this year. Did anyone honestly think that by the start of March he would have only played 30 minutes for us? I never thought that. That's the only thing that I'm really concerned about. So what's Osimhen's problem? Is it hamstrings or is it knee or ankle? What is it? Hello?
A lot of hamstrings, but I will check it for you.
I
think
know
his
he's
biggest has just been his face. That's the one that has kept him out for the longest time. When he broke his face, and that's why he started wearing masks. That's the only
yes.
injury that kept him out for a long time. Any other one was just a normal few weeks in and out. Yeah.
Yeah, he broke a cheekbone or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. It's tough. I mean, I don't know. You're looking at a serious amount of money for all of it. Well, at least for two of them. I mean, I think even Tony's going to go for probably 70, 80 million minimum. I bet you.
Yeah, if he goes for that price, that's still a good money because he's also a proven striker. Oh, let me not say proven in terms of elite, but he's good. Yeah, he's shown that he's good. Yeah, he just needs that big club to be there to put himself out. So 70, 80 million for Tony in this current market is also not bad. That's not cheap, but it's still a bit fair.
I think that's a lot of money. I think that's, to me, if you're above 50 something million, you've got to be elite. But the prices today are monopoly money. It's a joke. I don't know. I'm not sure Tony is worth that, but I like him. I like him a lot, but it doesn't make sense. The money I can't wrap my mind around. I don't know. Like I'm including Tony. I see problems with all of these players. Not one sticks out and says, you know what? They're proven, they're elite, they're healthy, they're cheap. None of them. None of them tick every single box. But to be honest with you, I mean this politely, but I don't see Jackson being the answer to our question, to our problems. I just don't, long term or short term. Hopefully he will be, but I don't see it.
Yeah, the kid said he wants to be Chelsea striker. So when they were asking him if he was comfortable playing from the wings or for a center forward, he said he wants to be Chelsea striker. He's going to work hard, and then he's saying that his idol Drogba has inspired all of them wants to be like Drogba.
You know, I don't think he's good enough aerially, unless he improves. Right, he could improve. One never knows. You know, I just don't. We need a prototypical number 6, unless Lavia turns out to be that player, and a number 9. And I honestly, I would like to get, obviously, I'd love for us to get a Musiala, a Felix, and a number 9, but I don't think we can afford any of that. But if we really want to be elite.
I've just sent you Victor Osimhen injury history on your DM. It's shocking.
Oh, is it bad? Really?
You can check. It's shocking, man. But I still love him. I don't care.
Okay. Let's have a look. You sent it to me on Twitter, X.
Yes, correct.
Okay, let me have a look. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, hamstring muscle injuries, 42 days. Muscle fatigue, 5 days. Abductor injury, 18 days. Another hamstring, 32 days. Another muscular problem, 2 days. Coronavirus 11. You can't blame that on it. Broken cheekbone. Well, yeah, 54 days. Calf strain 7 days. Head injury 11. Another coronavirus. Shoulder injury 62 days. And I can't read the bottom. It says something 70 days, and then I can't read the last two. There's a blue thing. That's not pretty reading, is it? And these are from 2020, 21 onwards. And what is he, 25? I mean, that's not an indicator and guaranteed to say that he will be injured going forward, but I mean, the past doesn't predict the future, but it does indicate that they're, I don't know, susceptible,
and if
perhaps.
he can tone down his running, he runs too much like Kante. His walk rate is almost like similar to Kante. I'm not saying he walks as hard as Kante, but he runs too much. So if he can tone that down a little bit too, maybe if we can play in such a way that he doesn't have to do too much of those running. But he's like always all over the pitch. Sometimes he leaves the center and try to help other people. So maybe if other people can do their job and just let him focus more on the goal, maybe that can reduce the injury and the running.
Really? Do you know what he averages? How many kilometers a match? You know, sometimes they usually publicize that. I don't know. I don't know much about him, but I don't know. These players, yeah. I mean, listen, I like Nkunku, don't get me wrong, but he's a false number 9. But then again, he's very good in the air for a person that's not above 6 foot. But I don't see this team in a 4-2-3-1 being as successful as we could be without a prototypical number 9 like an Osimhen. You know, I'd rather see Nkunku as either the second striker, a number 10, or playing out wide behind an Osimhen or someone of that ilk. I think we would be more dominant that way.
Roger.
Yes, sir.
You know, my issue with this current generation of players.
Roger, just quickly, whenever you guys feel like you're done, because I'm going to be very busy outside of here, you can just leave when I see that everybody's going to, I'll shut it down. If not, when I'm ready to leave, I'll come and shut it down. Whatever happens, whichever comes first.
You got it, coach.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate the 3 of you.
No, thank you.
37 kilometers per hour. That's Victor Osimhen. 37 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
Yeah. I was about to say something. I forgot what I was about to say, but
yes, I was saying something. You know my issue, right, with this generation of these players at the moment. They don't practice a lot, right? Because, for example, let's look at Jackson. He misses so many easy chances. For example, the chance that... No. All I'm saying... Say again?
No, I was asking you who you're talking about, sir.
I'm talking about overall this. Let's say our current Chelsea players at the moment. I think that they don't practice individually a lot. For example, if you hear likes of Peter Cech, Drogba, Frank Lampard, they used to stay behind for maybe 2 to 3 hours practicing, right? So that during the game it's simple for them. For example, Jackson against Brentford had an easy chance. He crossed the goalkeeper and he couldn't even pass the net. So overall, I'm saying, like, what is this? Even Kolbama, he missed an easy chance against Brentford.
Exactly.
So overall, if these players were practicing enough individually, I think right now they should have been better. Even on the table, it is 7th or 6th maybe, because those, if you can check the chances that we're missing, man, they are so easy, but our players are making them very hard. So I don't like that.
Do you know what I found funny when I was watching comps on Sesko? One of the first highlights was him going around a keeper, exactly like Jackson, but he scored. I'm like, oh, I like this guy. Yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you mean. We are not clinical. We miss far too many opportunities this season. In fact, last season also. Let's be honest. Yeah, I get it. I mean, you listen to Lampard, he would say he would stay behind for hours at a time practicing the same kick over and over again. You're right. Maybe these young group of players need to put in the hours to learn their trade. I don't know. I don't know. I still don't think that we know our best 11 players because of the amount of injuries this year. But I think we're only 2 or 3 players away from us being a very good team based on what we've seen against the top teams this year from this team. I don't know. Wow. Osimhen's going to cost that much. But then so's Victor. He's going to cost close to 100. These are expensive players. I don't know. Not sure. I really am. What do you think? Do you think we even get any one of these players?
Personally,
Yeah.
I think Victor Osimhen, we might get him because let's be honest, we all know this is a worst kept secret. John Obi Mikel always pushes for him. You can hear him all the time. Even on his podcast, he told him that I'm gonna make sure he comes to Chelsea. Clearly, it's gonna help Chelsea to get him. And then if I was Paul staying in Luis right now, I will make sure this happens because John Obi Mikel and Drogba laid out everything for you. So it won't be a hard negotiation. Just give Victor Osimhen what he wants. Forget, my issue with this policy. Oh, we're gonna pay players under 200 and stuff. Are you kidding me? This is Chelsea. Pay the players the right money, they'll come to Chelsea. Simple as that.
How much do you think Osimhen would want a week? 150, 200?
No, unfortunately, currently he's earning 232 because of his contract extension. So now he's earning more money. So if Chelsea, maybe let's say, if I was Chelsea, I would offer him 250 plus bonuses, right?
Yeah.
Then he can fight, and if you win a trophy, he can get his bonuses. Simple as that. Don't say you're gonna offer Victor Osimhen 200. Come on, he won't take it. Already earning 235. So why should he downgrade? He's still young.
Yeah, unless we include bonuses, I get it. I didn't know he was above 200. I thought he was on like low 100s. I didn't know he was okay.
He was any 100 before the contract extension.
Sure. What about Victor and Benjamin? How much are they on? They can't be on much.
Yeah, Victor, I think is less than 100. Benjamin, I don't know. But Victor is less than 100. I think 70, 80 there.
Yeah, I'm assuming Benjamin is, because of his age, is so young, and the team he plays for. I'm assuming he's on way less than 100, probably around 50. I bet. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I mean, listen. All of these players have advantages and disadvantages, but you know what though? I have no, assuming we can afford it, I have no problem paying him no matter what, especially if, and that's a big if we can depart with my cousin there, Sterling. Listen, if we're okay paying him 325, if we can move him on and then pay Osimhen, let's say 250, 300, then that's fine as long as he produces. You know,
Benjamin Sesko is on 875 875,000
a year.
per annum.
Wow.
Euro, yeah,
Wow, that's pretty good. That's really good.
a year.
That's nothing. So let's have a look at that. 875. He's on basic. Wow, he's on nothing. He's on less than 20,000 a bloody week.
Yeah, about 16,000 and something euro.
Yeah, that's you're looking at minimum wage for a football player nowadays. Wow, I mean, yeah. So if we offer him 50 to 75, he'd bite your hand off.
Yeah.
But then again, you're looking at, I mean this politely, but you're looking at a project. A very good project, though, in my opinion. I like him a lot. I mean, I think he's better than Jackson in many ways. You know, for a 20-year-old, he looks really good, but he's still not established. He's still not elite. But I think he has the potential to be elite. But then again, it's a big difference. And I don't think he probably has leadership qualities at that age, to be honest with you. There's many disadvantages to a lot of these players. Yes, sir.
So Roger, what do you think about Ben Jacobs, the journalist?
What's he said now? What's he said?
You know
now?
him?
Yeah. What? Ben Jacobs.
Roger, can you hear me?
Sorry, sir. Say that again.
Can you hear me?
I couldn't.
What do you think about him?
So Ben Jacobs, isn't he from?
Oh,
the
I'm
Atlantic?
saying, what do you think about?
Is Ben Jacobs from the Atlantic?
Yeah, no, I don't think he's working for a correspondent at the moment.
Oh, he's independent. Is he the one that
Yes.
BS's a lot? He's the one that's had quite a few false narratives lately, right?
Yeah,
Am I correct?
now he wrote an article for Court of Science saying Chelsea are looking for Eddie Howe, Roberto Di Zerbi, Julian Lopetegui, Hansi Flick. At the moment, Ruben Amorim is not on Chelsea's list. How are you kidding me? What? Eddie Howe at Chelsea? Really?
That's a big mistake. I think it's clickbait. I really do. I think that's sensationalism. I hope not. I mean, no disrespect to him. He could turn out to be a great manager, but I think he's
No.
He's another Potter, in my opinion. He's not tested and proven. Yes, he had a great season last year. I'm not disputing that, but I wouldn't put him in the category of elite. No way. I'm sorry.
Not at all. He's good, but not for where we want to be.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe in 2 to 5 years he could be the manager we want him to be. Yes, maybe. But right now, listen, we talked about it at length with Coachila. We need someone that knows how to win, how to instill a mentality into these youthful players, that wants to work with the youthful players, that is, shall we say, technically proficient in strategies, in his substitution, in players evaluation, just everything, that doesn't have weak points. We need an elite manager. I think that goes a long way, so that when he enters the room, the youthful squad that we have will listen to him, respect him, and go through a brick wall for him. This is what we want. This is what we need, I should say. Not want, need. And Eddie Howe, no disrespect to him, I don't believe he fits that category.
Actually, I've done a lot of research about Ruben Amorim. Even the last time we wanted a coach, and then we had Mauricio Pochettino. I think Ruben Amorim would be perfect for our squad, but I think also he needs time. And one thing I love about him, he always gives academy kids time.
Oh yeah.
If you can check how many players he promoted from Sporting Lisbon, some of them are sold.
We're hiring
Some of,
now. Fine.
yes, they are fine. Wow, that's what I love about him. Now my only issue with Mauricio Pochettino, right? He's saying, I'm gonna quote his words. He's saying, our midfield are tired. Enzo and Moses Caicedo, but you brought in the Casadai from Leicester City. Why you're not using him? Cool. Another players. How many midfielders do you have on the academy? I'm not saying always start them, but why you can at least check at least one of them, right? And play him. See what he can offer for the team. Meanwhile, Enzo and Moses Caicedo can rest. I'm telling you right now, sooner or later, Enzo Fernandez and Moses Caicedo will get injured due to fatigue. Due to fatigue. This is what I hate. I don't want that. Remember, Mason Mount was doing well from Lampard until Thomas Tuchel. He was playing almost every game, no rest. What is that? Look at him now. He's a scrap at Manchester United. He can't even get fit. Look at Kante. Kante was excellent. Best player in the world.
He wasn't
playing in every game.
He wasn't excellent. He was great. Was a big
Exactly.
Yeah.
World class, elite. Yeah. But we didn't have a rotational player for him. And then he ended up getting injured.
Yeah.
This is what I hate. Unfortunately, yes, Lavie and Leslie are not available, but at least use some of the players so that your key players can get rest. This is what I want.
Yeah, no, that's a legitimate concern, and you can't defend that. That's one criticism of the coaching staff that I have to agree with you. That's a legitimate complaint and criticism. Now, obviously, Cassidy couldn't play in the cup tie, so I get that. But yeah, I agree. I think he should have come on for even 10, 15 minutes because, injury statistics have shown that over a certain age, I know these midfielders are young, but after the 70th minute, that's when the majority of muscular injuries occur. So I totally agree with you. I mean, checkmate. Can I just quickly change the subject and ask you about, do you think we should see more of Mudryk starting? Or do you think he's too raw to start? Anybody?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm so concerned about that guy. The more he gets playing time, the better he becomes. And then he plays the game, he does well, he goes to the bench. I think the coach is not helping him. He always have one silly reason or the other to take him back to the bench. The other time he got man of the match and he was relegated back to the bench. I'm so concerned about him because he seems to be an emotional person. So the more they do that to him, the more it's going to take time for him to develop. But I like the guy because if you give him chance, he does better. The more so, I'm very concerned about the way he's been treated. Thank you.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Where do you see him in 2 years' time? Do you think he's with Chelsea? Do you think he's a starter? Or do you think he turns out to be, I hate this term, but a bust?
Yeah, with Pochettino in charge, I don't see him being anywhere. But if we change Pochettino, hopefully the next manager will be able to give him a chance. But if he plays regularly, he will want to be with us because he seems to be a very loyal guy. But at the end of the day, if he's not playing, he's not going to be happy because he wants to be playing and he wants to improve and prove his critics wrong.
Yeah, I heard he's one of the players that we were talking about earlier that stays late. Is the first to arrive and the last to leave training and in the gym. He's a workaholic, I hear. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm concerned about him. Do you think Sterling moves on next season, or do you think he's with us next year?
Yeah,
I don't think he moves on. With those wages, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, with his wages, he might not want to, but we can influence him to
Even
move on.
yes, even now he stays in London close to his family. So why would he move on?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, he holds all the cards, in my opinion. I think it's going to be very hard to move him on. Yeah, I really do. So do you think because of Chelsea not being in Europe 90% next year, do you think Osimhen will still want to come to Chelsea?
Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
that one is so hard.
Yeah, I think it
Is it
doesn't matter because
okay?
he's already interested without us being in Europe. So I think he might want to come and prove himself. Okay, guys, let's work and move ourselves there. But he's interested even without we being in Europe for the second season running. So yeah, and I know from very reliable sources that he's a Chelsea fan growing up. All his friends are Chelsea fans. No, one of his very close friends leaked it that that Victor has been a Chelsea fan all his life, and one of his ambitions is to play for Chelsea. But then Chelsea has to also show the interest for it to work.
Yes.
So
I have a feeling if Osimhen doesn't come to Chelsea, however, I think he wants to play. I've read that he wants to play in the Premier League regardless. I can see him going to a Spurs or an Arsenal and being a success. That's the one thing that I fear, that we may regret not signing him. What do you think, chaps? Anybody?
yes,
Say again.
Osimhen, if he doesn't come to Chelsea, I believe he will be going to probably a Premier League team like an Arsenal, or Tottenham, or United. I can see him being a success. That's what I fear.
Yeah, I agree with you. For example, look at Arsenal. As much as I hate Arsenal, at the moment they're on fire. They just miss a number 9. I think they'll win trophies. So overall, if Victor Osimhen goes to Arsenal, oh, it's gonna be a long day for us.
I agree. I can see him fitting in Arsenal very much. He could solidify them, just very similar to how Drogba solidified Chelsea. This is what worries me. This is another reason, I was really disappointed we didn't get Højlund, this off-season, in summertime. But this chap Osimhen scares me because I think if he can stay healthy, I think he can succeed in this league, even though he's not proven. But do you think he will move to the Premier League? I have a feeling he will. He wants to. I don't know. Okay, gentlemen.
yeah, Premier League is his priority though, but it still depends because PSG also has interest. It depends if the Premier League teams are willing to meet the demands. Yeah.
And they will probably pay top dollar for him too, his salary. I'm sure they will.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about with regards to these strikers and Chelsea generally?
Nothing for my side.
Tebago? Are you there, sir? Okay. Gentlemen, Coach, if you're listening, if you can hear us, I think we've covered quite a bit regarding these strikers. And as always, it's been an absolute pleasure, gentlemen, talking with you. Really like the panel, as always, and everyone else in the chat. Thank you ever so much from everyone. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Roger. Nice.
Thank you. An absolute pleasure, gentlemen.
Right.
Tebago, are you there? Can you hear? I think Tebago's making a cup of tea. Okay, gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. And I'll go ahead and communicate this with Coach.
Have a nice day. Yeah, bye.
You too, sir. Thank you.